Hi there everyone, my name's Wayne, I'm the Armchair and welcome to my channel. Today we've got the next exciting episode of the Armchair Challenge. We're looking at game week 29. And what's also exciting about this week is I have predictions from a Armchair community member outside of South Africa. So a new country, which is going to be exciting. But before we jump into game week 29, let's take a look back at game week 28. So going into game week 28, the Armchair community were leading me 20 points to 17. So I had 3 points I needed to make up. Last week also saw the first time a return Armchair community member submitted predictions. So Clyde Abrams, who was the first ever member to submit predictions on the challenge, I ended up beating him in the first week of the Armchair Challenge. And subsequently to that, I've been given a few big hidings. So Clyde reached out to me and said, you know what, Wayne, I might have lost you in that first round, but it looks like I need another shot at you because everyone else seems to be beating you. So I accepted Clyde's challenge last week, and it appears Clyde might have been right. So Clyde, very well done. Last week, game week 28, you won the round 6 points to 3. So six correct results. I had 3 correct results. There were no correct score lines. So we're sitting on a tally now of 26 points to the Armchair community and 20 points to me, the Armchair Red. So the gap that I was hoping to close has unfortunately gotten bigger. So Clyde, well done. You got your retribution. I might be calling you up in the future to sort of have a winner-take-all. But until then, well done. We're going to jump into game week 29. So game week 29, like I said, it's the first time I've had some predictions submitted by a member outside of South Africa. So the country we have is Namibia. So Namibia, guys, I see there's a few new subscribers on the channel from Namibia this week. Guys, your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. You're a beautiful country. And the subscriber I'm referring to this week, his name is Alafi Andreas. So Alafi, thank you very much for your predictions. And Alafi also mentions to me that his daughter enjoys watching football with him. And she's actually watched a few of my videos as well. So I'm giving a shout out to Amelia. Amelia, thank you for your support as well. Let's see how good your dad is at his predictions. So it's a shorter game week this week because of FA Cup ties happening this weekend. So we only have 4 games. It doesn't sound like a lot, but when you think about it, we get 1 point for a correct result and we get 1 point for a correct scoreline. So potentially we have 8 points up for grabs this week. And I'm 6 points behind. So even though it's only 4 games, I can either close the gap or Alafi's going to do the community a favor and extend it. So let's jump into the games. So first game of the weekend, we've got Burnley against Brentford. So an interesting game. Burnley got a draw last week. Brentford ended up losing to Arsenal. Alafi's gone with a 3-2 scoreline to Burnley. So he's gone for a high-scoring game. He's gone for a Burnley win. And I find that interesting. You know, I've spent the last few weeks hammering Burnley because I think, besides Sheffield United, I think they're the worst team in the league. But they did get a draw last week. Brentford got their unlucky loss to Arsenal. I think they probably deserved a draw. But they've also got a few key defenders out. So I think the game's going to be a bit more even than we originally thought it was going to be. Alafi has gone for the Burnley win. I still think Brentford might be too strong for them. Like I said, they're missing a few key defenders, so Burnley's probably going to get a goal. But I just think that Brentford will get 1 goal more. So I've gone with a Brentford win over there. I've gone for a Brentford 2-1 scoreline. So, yeah, it gets interesting from the first fixture. Next game up, we have Luton against Forest. Luton, I feel sorry for Luton. Wednesday, midweek, they were playing Bournemouth. Luton were leading 3-0. Battling in a relegation battle, or struggling in a relegation battle. And Bournemouth came back and won the game 4-3. If you read some of the articles in midweek, they term it probably the biggest comeback in recent Premier League history. And I just think the Luton players' mindset must be absolutely all over the show at the moment, because they must be thinking to themselves, what do they need to do to actually get a win? I like their manager. I like the mentality of the team. I think midweek was just one of those anomalies that happen every now and then. I think they've played good in games recently against big sides. They just haven't got any points out of it. So this to me is an interesting game, because both teams are fighting either in or just outside the relegation zone. Alafi's gone for a 2-1 win here to Forest. So he says Forest are going to go to Luton. They're going to win 2-1. Luton's not easy at home. Forest have a decent attack. I just think they're going to cancel each other out. I think we're going to get a bit of a bounce back from the Luton side after midweek. They're going to want to prove some of their naysayers wrong. Forest, on the other hand, want to extend that gap they have above the bottom three. There's still a points deduction possibly hanging over their heads. But I don't think there's going to be much to separate these two teams in this game. So I've actually gone for a draw in this game. I've gone Luton 1, Forest 1. The next game up, Fulham versus Spurs, London derby. Anything can happen in a London derby, we know that. But Alafi's gone for a big win for Spurs. Yeah, he's going 4-0 to Spurs. If you remember, Spurs destroyed Aston Villa last week 4-0, so he's gone for the same scoreline. Fulham are a strange team at home. Liverpool experienced that. Many other teams have experienced that. I'm agreeing it's going to be a Spurs win here, Alafi, but I don't think we're going to see a 4-0 scoreline. I like Fulham striker Munoz. I think his name's Munoz. I think he's got a bit of quality up front. I do think Spurs will win, but I don't think we're looking at a big scoreline here. I think Spurs take this game 2-1. We know they're battling Aston Villa for that last Champions League spot, and they're going to want to put 3 points on the board. They're going to want to hammer home that advantage they got over Aston Villa last week. The Premier League still doesn't know whether they're going to qualify for a 5th Champions League spot yet, because the European competitions are still on at the moment. So at the moment, as it stands, we only have 4, and between Spurs and Villa, they're fighting for their 4th spot. So Spurs are going to want this win. I think they're going to get the win, but I think it's going to be a close game. So I'm going Spurs 2, Fulham 1. Last game of the weekend, we have West Ham versus Villa. So again, Villa, part of that Champions League battle that I was speaking about with Spurs. Both teams coming off big wins midweek in West Ham in Europa League, Aston Villa in Conference League, both progressing through to the next round. But also coming off disappointing results last weekend. So West Ham had to score in the last minute to basically grab a draw against Burnley. Aston Villa, as we know, were absolutely thumped by Spurs. There was a bit of a confidence boost for them midweek with their wins in Europe. But I don't think this game is going to be close. Alafi's gone for a 3-1 win here to Villa, so he reckons Villa's going to bounce back. They're obviously going to be without John McGinn for this game. I think he's a key player for them. But Alafi's still going for a 3-1 win to Aston Villa here. So Alafi, I agree with you. I think Villa will win this game. I think the pressure's on them now to keep pace with Spurs, because Spurs still do have that one game in hand. So I'm also going for Villa scoring 3 goals. I think between Ollie Watkins, Leon Bailey, the guys they have up front, they've got 3 goals in them. I'm just not convinced that West Ham have that goal in them. They had to bring Danny Ings on last week to get that last-minute equaliser. I just think midweek might have taken a bit more out of West Ham than potentially has taken out of Villa. So I'm going to go for a Villa win over here. I'm going 3-0. So, yes, although it's only 4 games this weekend, it's basically games affecting relegation zone and games affecting that last Champions League place. So every game this weekend has something riding on it. So although it's a sort of a curtailed week, there's still 8 points up for grab in the challenge. There's a 6-point deficit at the moment that I need to make up. So I'm really hoping that I get to close that gap a bit. Alafi, thank you for your predictions again. I really do appreciate it. Amelia, hold thumbs for your dad. Hold another thumb for me. We'll see who wins. We'll see who wins next week. But guys, it's nice getting some new subscribers from different countries. Shout out to the guys in Namibia. I really appreciate it. Remember, on Sunday we're going to be doing the watch along for the Man United Liverpool game, FA Cup quarter-final. As you know, no matter what competition you're playing in, no matter where the teams are in the league, when Liverpool and Man United play, it's war. It's the old enemy. It's win at all costs. And I think Sunday's game is going to be absolutely awesome. Liverpool have a bit of retribution. We probably should have beaten United at Anfield. We're going to want to beat them in their own backyard. We're going to want to go back to Wembley. And we're going to want to take one step closer to winning Jurgen Klopp one more trophy in his final season at Liverpool. So guys, that's for Sunday. We've spoken about game week 29. Once again, thank you for your support. If you're new to the channel, you like what you see, we're going on a bit of a journey with this channel. Come along for the ride. And let's have some fun. I really enjoy what I'm doing. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and come and go on the journey with me. Other than that, look after yourself. Armchair Red, out.